this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
Why, hello there, my name is Alex and you are watching Theme Park Freak. Today I go back to Pirates of the Caribbean, and I build sort of just little bits that I just really wanted to get finished off in the restaurant. Like for example, I did the exterior, and I also finished mainly finished like the scenery around the ride sort of area of it, which I'm quite happy with. But yeah, I feel like it ended up quite well. This video is actually going to be split into two parts, because otherwise it would have been 41 minutes long, and I'm not gonna put a 41-minute video up, because one, it would take longer to upload, two, it would take longer to render. But I know it's going to take the same amount of time in the long run, but I'm just talking about like in the short term, I can get a video out more quickly and then just render it out afterwards, and maybe even try and get the Premiere function to work this time, which I wasn't able to do last night, so I just had to set it to unlisted and then just put it on public because the Premiere thing wasn't working out. But anyways, in this series, I'm just trying to stay close to the original rides, but also put my own spin on things, because like it's my favorite ride that isn't a coaster, and so it's really important to me that I get everything as detailed as the real thing was or is. So yeah, I really like to do this, but it's sort of a situation where you don't know where to go next, because if I go the way I want to go next, then it'll just be copying Paris. But I just love the Paris one so much, because in my opinion it's the best one. Like, I know Shanghai's got the higher tech one, but I feel like Paris's one has a certain charm to it that Shanghai's doesn't. Like, I like the Florida one and the California one as well, but the problem with those is that I feel like they're too low tech. Like, for example, Paris's one has got the audio animatronics, they're really nice and fluid, but it's also got the same charm as the originals, whereas for example the one in Shanghai doesn't really have that same charm, but it has the high tech figures, whereas the Florida one and the Disneyland one both have the charm, but they're relatively lower tech. But yeah, that's just what I feel. So that's why I'm doing the Paris one. Also, it's a lot easier for me to do the Paris one, since I've only been on the Florida one once. I haven't been on any of the others, so it's just a lot easier to do Paris. But anyway, I'm gonna do a bit quick chat about what I'm gonna be doing after I do the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. What I'm thinking of doing afterwards is I might do I'm struggling to think what it's called, Splash Mountain, because at the moment I've got a real big feel for water rides, and so it's just, I just feel like it could be a lot better with water rides than coasters at the moment, or like flat rides. Although I could start on like the park layout, but I'd like to sort of save that for maybe like 10 episodes time. I just want to build things and then lay them out as I go along. So let's say I build Pirates of the Caribbean. I could build like Tiki Room on the other side of the park, which I'm going to do, by the way. I'm going to do Tiki Room because I love that attraction. But yeah, I could build that on the other side of the park, but I can just move it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to build everything separately and then just piece it together at the end, because I feel like that might be a better way of doing it. But yeah, also, I've done a couple of adjustments to the castle. I asked for some suggestions on Bronation, and I got some really nice ones. Like, they said to get rid of the top middle tower, which I did, and I feel like that was the best way to go. I did record a bit of time-lapse for that, but I thought it was a bit boring, since half the time I was just selecting stuff and deleting it or moving it. And, yeah, hopefully in the next video, well, not the next video, the video after that, I'll give you a picture of the castle while I'm building it. But yeah, just trying to think what else is a good thing to talk about. Let me think. Oh yeah, I've done a bit of thinking about what sort of rides that I'd really like to do in the park, and which rides I don't really want to include. Like, ones that I really want to include are the classics like Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, which isn't at Paris, but I really want it anyways, because it's my second favourite ride at Disney World, behind Pirates of the Caribbean or Tower of Terror. It depends on which one I'm feeling on the day. But yeah, it's my second favourite, and I love it. I'm gonna use the California soundtrack because I like that a bit more than the Florida or the Tokyo soundtracks. But yeah, anyway, what else am I going to include? Space Mountain, and I've made a decision now. I'm gonna make it like the one in Florida, so it's not too similar to Paris, or like the one in California. They're practically the same thing. But yeah, I just feel like at the moment I'm overwhelmingly inspired by Paris. But yeah, what else am I going to do? I want to get the Mad Tea Party in there, the Winnie the Pooh Dark Ride, the Pinocchio Dark Ride, the Snow White Dark Ride, like the main sort of dark rides in the park. One thing that I'm not quite sure about is It's a Small World. I definitely want to do that, but it's just whether I go with the Paris version, which is sort of like the California version, but a bit more vibrant and a bit more playful and a bit more, complex and detailed. Or I could go the Florida route and make a show building and then just have a fake sort of facade of the thing on the inside. I want to know what you guys think, so I'll probably put a card up. If not, just put it in the comments. But yeah, I'm just trying to think what else I'd like to do. Jungle Cruise is one that I'd like to do, because I like that ride and we've got it in game. So if we've got it, I might as well do it. I want to do some sort of 4D or 3D show, so I'm probably going to do Captain EO in Tomorrowland, which is what I'm going to be calling it. I'm not going to be calling it Discoveryland, although I am going to incorporate some of the Vernian architecture. Well, I think it's called Vernian, but I'm not sure. It's Jules Verne's sort of steampunk, that's the word. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. Oh, Main Street. That's something I want to talk about. Main Street it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me, since I struggle with those sort of buildings, like the older American buildings. So I'm probably going to save Main Street for one of the last things I do. Either I'm going to save it for the last thing, or I'm going to just build it straight away to get it over with, and then revisit it right at the end of the series and just make adjustments to it, like to make it look better. Which is actually, that sounds like a better idea than... Yeah, I'll probably do that. But yeah, at the moment, I don't know if anyone watching this is avid Planet Coaster content creator, like I mean, well, by content creator I mean like workshop content, because I actually really need an animatronic of the dog on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride with the key in its mouth. And if any of you are experienced with like 3D modeling and Theme Maker's Toolkit and you're watching, that would be really helpful if you could do that. But if not, it's fine. I can just make do with a just a dog. But yeah. Other rides I would like to include are Big Thunder Mountain, which is a staple. Trying to think what else. I'd like to do what's that one in Fantasyland that I really liked? I'd like to do Dumbo, but I can't really, because the ride in game that's like Dumbo is way too themed for me to make anything out of it. So that's a bit of a troubled thing. But other than that, I'm just trying to think of things that I could do. I'd like to do a ride like Stitch, but obviously that's not in the game, so I can't really do that. Plus Stitch is closed now, which I'm really sad about. That was one of my favourite Tomorrowland rides. But yeah, just trying to think what other things I'd like to do with the park, because as I said, it's just really, really fun to build. So I just have no idea of what I want to do next, because it all just sounds so exciting to build. But oh, something I'd like to know is, should I put it, Pirates of the Caribbean in sort of New Orleans or Liberty Square sort of area, or should I put it in Adventureland? I'll leave that up to you guys, but I am going to be building like a New Orleans / Liberty Square area for Haunted Mansion, because I don't really want it to be in Frontierland like in Disneyland Paris. But yeah, also Critter Country, should I do that or should I not? You guys decide, because you know I'm terrible at making decisions. I'm trying to think of what else is sort of important to talk about, because I wasn't going to do commentary for this episode, because it's quite late at night and I really want to get an early night tonight, because my sleep schedule has been all over the place recently. So yeah, I just want to basically give a run through of everything that we're gonna do in the park. I can't actually see anything that's happening on screen right now, because my editing software doesn't let me watch in real time for more than a minute, because after that the video just stops. So I'm just listening to the music and guessing off of that whether the time frame, how long I've got to talk, which is probably about another 4 or 5 minutes now. So yeah, basically one of the main things that I want to do with this park is just capture that charm of Disneyland over in California, but with like everything from the Paris park and Florida as well. I just want to bring it all together, and who knows, if this series goes well, I might just build like a studios park next. which would be based prominently on Hollywood studios instead of Walt Disney Studios, because I like that park better. That's one of the things I like more in America than Paris. But yeah, those are a couple of things that I might do. But yeah, I'm just sort of figuring out the direction in which I want to go with this, because like I'm gonna have like the stapled 4 lands plus the little mini New Orleans or Liberty Square. But yeah, that it's just gonna be a really fun series, and I just love how it's going so far. Also guys, I hope you liked the castle in the last episode. I made it a bit more saturated, so it's more pinky. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. As I said, I got rid of a tower, deleted a couple of flags, just like minor things. I did try and add couple of extra, what's the word? I think they're just called towers at the bottom, like the things that are part of the castle wall. Tried to add an extra one of them, but it just didn't look right. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Oh, I also did a bit of editing on the Windows side of things and the inside of the castle. But yeah, if any of you have any tips for me on how to build like Main Street sort of buildings, that would be very appreciated, because I have no idea how to do that. So yeah, some things I really want on Main Street are like Casey's Corner, because that's one of my favourite restaurants in Disney. What else? I'd like to have the Emporium, the I've forgotten what it's called, but it's like the place where you can get like the crystal characters and like the porcelain sort of characters, and like the snow globes and stuff like that. The arcades would be a really fun thing to do, like the bits that go down the side of Main Street, so like you can walk down Main Street without having to go through all the foot traffic, which would be quite cool. I really want to do a fireworks show, but I'm not sure what I want to do for the fireworks show. I could literally just get a soundtrack of one of the parks, but I just don't want to do that, because I just feel like that would be just copying it way too much. But yeah, I can see from the timeline that my time is almost up, so I am going to head off now and let you guys just listen to this bit of Adventureland music for the last couple of minutes, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, which will probably be tomorrow, if not the day after. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye!